Hi there! Do you enjoy watching movies? The Melbourne International Film Festival is happening right now in Melbourne, and it's one of my favourite times of the year. In this video, we'll go to the cinema to check out some films and learn how to talk about our favourite films together. If you're learning English and want to understand how people really speak in Australia, then you're in the right place. These videos will help you understand everyday English through comprehensible input, while exploring real places around Melbourne and Australia. Members of my Patreon can download PDF scripts, watch bonus videos, and listen to podcast episodes about everyday life in Australia. Okay, let's watch some movies. I've come to Melbourne Central for the first movie I'm seeing this week. The cinema is on the top floor. It looks like some people are already heading up there, so let's go up the escalator. The Melbourne International Film Festival is held every year in Melbourne. It's a film festival where you can see movies from Australia and all around the world. It's a great time to be in Melbourne. At the entrance to the cinema, there's a place where you can buy snacks and drinks to take into the movie. They sell bags of lollies and chips, choc tops, and this cinema has themed popcorn buckets and other merch related to some new kids' movies. Merch is short for merchandise, which are items for fans of a movie. The popcorn machine is popping some popcorn right now. The kernels heat up and pop, and then popcorn falls out of the machine. A kernel is a whole piece of corn before it pops. This is where you can choose a soft drink. You can get lemonade, Coke, Pepsi, or whatever you like and fill it up in your own cup. Let's head to the cinema where our movie's playing. Today's film is in a big cinema, but the seats haven't been assigned. That means that there aren't specific seats for each person, so whoever gets here earliest can choose their seat first. Someone's coming around now to scan our tickets before we head inside. Usually when you go to the movies, you get a seat number on your ticket, but because this is a festival and we're at a sold-out session, people are getting here early to make sure they get a good seat. A sold-out session means that all of the available tickets have already been sold. Let's go in and find a good seat. Do you prefer to watch movies at home or at the cinema? I like watching movies at home, but I prefer seeing them at the cinema. I love the experience of it, and I like that there are no distractions and I can be completely focused on the screen and the story. If you go to the cinema, where do you like to sit? Near the front, near the back, or somewhere in the middle? I'm going to choose a seat somewhere near the middle, maybe a little closer to the back. How often do you go to the cinema? Usually I see 2 or maybe 3 films each month. But during this festival, I'm seeing 14 films. There are all kinds of films playing too, from all over the world. At this festival, I'm seeing lots of Japanese films, a Thai film, a Russian film, an American film, and an Australian film. I'm also seeing some nature documentaries, a music documentary, and a documentary about South Korea. What kind of movies do you like to watch? Do you have a favorite genre? Maybe you like action, horror, comedy, romance, or science fiction films. Maybe you like movies that make you cry. I love watching all kinds of movies, and I love watching movies from all over the world. I like watching different stories from different perspectives. A perspective is a particular way of seeing or understanding something. I don't really like fantasy movies that much, or crime dramas, but I love films with beautiful cinematography. Cinematography is the way a film is created visually, including things like the camera, the lighting, the composition, and the movement. If I think a movie has beautiful cinematography, I mean that the way that it's filmed looks beautiful. Okay, the movie's about to start. Now it's the next day and I'm heading to a different cinema. This is one of the oldest cinemas in Melbourne. Let's scan our tickets and go inside.
Hi.
Got 2.
Yes, 1.
Thank you. It looks pretty different from the slick cinema I went to yesterday. Slick means modern or stylish. You can still get classic movie snacks here, like a box of popcorn and a choc top, but it feels a little fancier. Let's go upstairs into the cinema. On this sign, it says that the movie is unclassified. Movies are usually given a classification to tell audiences more about what's in the movie and if it's appropriate to watch. You might see ratings like these. An unclassified film hasn't been given one of these official classifications yet. In this cinema, I like sitting towards the front of the balcony. There are actually 2 levels of seating, a ground floor and a second floor. I prefer sitting on the second floor. This movie will have subtitles, so if I sit in the front row, I'm sure that I won't miss anything on the screen. I also won't have a tall person sitting in front of me and blocking my view. I haven't bought any snacks to eat during this movie, but the people sitting next to me have bought 2 big glasses of red wine to drink during the film. At the back of the cinema, there's a projector which projects the movie onto the screen. Before the movie, they'll play ads and some trailers. An ad is short for advertisement, where they're promoting something to you, maybe from a brand. A trailer is a short video of scenes from an upcoming movie to make you interested in seeing it. I like to not know too much about the film before I watch it. I might watch the trailer, but I don't want any spoilers. A spoiler is information about an important part of the story that you haven't seen yet, especially something that gives away what happens at the end. Okay, it's time to watch the movie. At the end of the movie, they play credits. The credits are the names of the actors, director, writers, and all the other people who worked on the film. I like to stay and watch the credits, but a lot of people leave the cinema during the credits. I really enjoyed this film. I've been watching lots of Japanese films lately, so I recognize some of the actors. When you recognize someone, you realize that you've seen them before. This film was also by a director I really like. A director is the person who leads the making of a film. They help to decide how the story's told and how it all comes together with the actors and the cinematography. Do you have a favorite director? Alright, it's time to head off for another film. I'm going to ask the usher some questions about my next screening.
I'm just wondering where to go to find my seats today.
Yep. If you follow the stairs either side,
Yep.
you'll scan your ticket at the top and someone will direct you into the cinema.
Sure, thank you. And do you know if there's reserved seating today?
Yes, everything is reserved seating here.
And do you know roughly how long the movie goes for?
Not off the top of my head, but it's roughly 2 hours.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
This building isn't usually a cinema. It's actually a place where you can see live music, but during the film festival, you can see movies here too. It's a really cool building. A lot of people are waiting upstairs to be let inside. I booked this film at the last minute, which means that I booked it closer to the screening time, so there weren't a lot of good seats left.
Hi, I'm in E2. Am I on the other side?
Yes, you're also on the other side.
Okay, fantastic.
So you're like the third row.
Kind of against the
right
wall.
by that door.
Okay, great, thanks.
I'm sitting right at the front on the edge. I usually prefer to sit somewhere in the middle, but I think it'll be alright. At least I have a clear view of the screen. Okay, it's time for one more movie. This is a smaller cinema, but it feels the most comfy. For this film, we bought choc tops to eat. Mine is salted caramel flavour. This film is a documentary about nature filmed on Super 8 cameras. Super 8 is a type of film that you physically put into a camera. I love shooting on Super 8 film too. If you're taking photos or videos for a project, you can say, I'm shooting a video, or I'm shooting on film. It's like saying, I'm recording, or I'm recording on something. If you shoot on a digital camera, the images are recorded electronically onto a memory card. Usually these images look really crisp and clear. After the film, we'll stay for a Q&A with two of the filmmakers. Q&A stands for questions and answers. It's just a short discussion where the audience can ask the filmmakers questions about the movie and the process of making it.
There's a lot of talk about Super 8 being just a kind of nostalgic medium. I love how Ed describes it in this film as like someone had painted your memories. What draws you both to shoot on Super 8?
Well, there's two things that I think is really special about using analog cameras in general. One is there's no screens on them, which is amazing because it means that you don't get obsessed with trying to perfect something and you just accept that, you've either got it or you haven't and you're going to find out later. So the other thing is like we have this, particularly in wildlife filmmaking, there's like a real pressure to just everything more, like sharper, better, higher frame rates, more perfect. Everything is like, all the technology is pushing everything to this sort of absolute perfect image, which, something that's really cool. But also, it's not really how memory works. Like, when we remember things, it tends to be, like, imperfect. And I think that's, part of the, the Super 8 triggering nostalgia, that sort of is part of that. But also, that's a really nice to do something that's different where imperfection is embraced rather than, pushed against.
What a great start to the film festival. Thanks for coming to the movies with me today. What is the Aussie slang word for merchandise or items for fans of a movie or thing? Merch. What word describes a particular way of seeing or understanding something? Perspective. What do we call the visual way a film is created, including cameras, lighting, and composition? Cinematography. What word describes something that looks modern or stylish? Slick. What do you call the short video of scenes used to promote a film? Trailers. What word do you use if you've seen someone before? You recognize them. What do you call the list of names of all the people who worked on a movie that's shown at the end? The credits. What do you call the people who perform in a movie? Actors. Who is the person who leads the making of a film? They help decide how the story's told and how it all comes together. The director. What does it mean if you're at a sold-out session of a movie? It means that all the tickets have been sold and all of the seats in the cinema are filled. Thanks for joining me today, and thanks so much to everyone on Patreon. If you'd like some extra support with your English, Patreon members can download PDF scripts, access bonus speaking and listening practice videos, and hear podcast episodes about my life in Australia. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more real-life Australian English practice. See you next time.